What's the fucking plan, man?
Welcome. Sometime you.
All right. Sure. I think I've done enough. Do you buy goods?
Sure.
I think I've done enough. Good luck building your fortune, Mr.
He'll come out eventually. Everyone be ready. It's probably a rat or something.
So, the Black Stalker used to work at the power plant, and he seems to know me. Interesting. But how does my old mentor Semenov fit into all of this?
The Policia Hotel. Former symbol of communist luxury, now a relic of bygone glory.
If you say so, Tanya.
Party apparatchiks used to stay here whenever they visit Pripyat. It gave them a great view of the power plant and the surrounding area while they were checking up on things.
The master's eye makes the horse fat, as they say.
But it didn't quite work out that way.
No, it did not. After the disaster, this place became a hub for the liquidators. They coordinated the helicopter operations from the roof, gave orders, and watched the Mi-6 drop sand and boric acid into the reactor. The only sensible thing to do.
Do you think the party bosses were on site? Or maybe they were too afraid of radiation? Did they cower behind mahogany desks in their spacious offices in Moscow?
Some of them did come to Pripyat. There are rumors that even Gorbachev stood on this roof once.
He must have thought long and hard about the policies he was trying to introduce. Perestroika, glasnost, a token amount of transparency and freedom of speech. After all, state secrecy, censorship, and forced economic planning led to this disaster. But it was too little, too late. Even the truth couldn't save us by that point.
Politics was never a business for telling the truth. That's why I stick to science.
And what about us, Igor? Can we survive our truth once you find it? Meet me on the hotel roof. Where are we going for our honeymoon, Igor?
Honeymoon?
You did start planning it, right?
Of course I have.
So?
I was thinking of Sochi, Yalta, perhaps Gagra.
Kagra! The Soviet Monte Carlo for party apparatchiks? Over my dead body?
All right, all right. Sochi it is then.
Remember the disco at Energetic?
How could I forget? I was the worst dancer on the floor. Even in my younger years, I was always a bit stiff.
That's not true. Besides, you had a great partner to lead you. Me. And the disco balls? It was great. The lights, the beat, the atmosphere.
I remember. It had a funny name, but like an old inventor.
Edison. Edison, too.
Right.
But Energetic was way more than a disco. It had a library, swimming pool, cinema.
Yes. I took you to see a Georgian movie about a young guy traveling around villages, collecting folk songs and music. What was it called?
The Journey of a Young Composer. It was a masterpiece. Beautiful music, a funny story. It had everything.
I know. You made me watch it like 3 times.
I was so happy, Igor. Back then, even if not everything was okay, I could always lean on you and forget my cares.
When we arrived in Pripyat, before the incident, that was the happiest time of my life, Tanya.
Those sunny days, do you think we will ever see them again? Can we go back, Igor? Is it even possible?
I'll make it possible. Do you hear me, my love? Tanya?
Come along, Igor. We're not done yet. The Pripyat amusement park had the autodrome, paratrooper, swing boats, and the famous Ferris wheel. I know it was just a distraction, but I wish we'd gotten to ride it at least once. See the city from the air one last time before our world collapsed.
It never had a chance to open. It was doomed from the start. A pretty dream. Just another type of opium for the masses, to paraphrase the classic.
Our Professor Kumunik always focused like a laser beam. God forbid he ever be distracted by frivolity or fun. You've always thought very highly of yourself, haven't you? You concern yourself only with the serious, scientific problems, uncovering the secrets of the universe, measuring the fabric of reality, grasping the order of things, the ultimate truth. You look down on the little people simply living their boring, workaday lives. Admit it, you despised those people, hated everyone who couldn't match your level of thinking.
No, I never. That's now what this is about. It's just that people are chaotic, disorganized, unreliable, unpredictable. While physics and mathematics, science, never lets me down. Even in the darkest of times, I can always rely on their simplicity, clarity, beauty.
What role did I play in this life of the mind? Was I a distraction from your lofty goals? A destructive force tearing down your orderly life? What's your truth about us?
No, not you. You were different, inspiring. I embraced you. You've been my reason to live, to work. You were, and always will be, my little chaotic dancing star. That's the truth. Even if it's only my truth.
Top of the morning to you, sir.
Glad to see you're in.
I like my... Anyway.
That's mighty.
Yeah, well, must miss...
Yeah,
I'm at on Craig.
Hey,
About like...
fantastic.
Today, I'll teach you more about navigating obstacles and dropping to the ground without breaking your hip. It'll come in handy, I promise. This is going to be something special. Just you wait, partner. Can't wait to see you in action. Similar rules. Enter the maze and finish it. And at the very end, just go! Don't think, partner. Jump!
Use your whole body while moving.
Lead with the front foot.
And follow with the other. I can see you need to work on your foot
Strike. Imagine you're doing this for Tatiana. Parkour is not
Really your cup of tea, huh?
Just try not to fall down any stairs, all right? This is not
A man's way to die.
If you don't overthink it, miracles can happen.
Nietzsche wrote, there is more wisdom in your body.
Body than in your deepest physiology. Or, philosophy, or something. You know what I mean. You'll always land on your feet like a cat. Good to see you're still in shape. It'll come in handy. How are things
Hey,
about like...
fantastic.
Life on the streets told me that... For now. Okay. Ha! That was fast. You're pretty spry for an over-the-hill pre-perestroika scientist. Take cover, Igor! You're getting good at this. Take cover, Igor! Nice moves, old-timer. You still got it. Take cover, Igor! Good to see you're still in shape. It'll come in handy. Outstanding.
You got the reflexes of a teenage gangbanger.
On Crystal, I'd take you into my crew. No questions asked. How are things,
Hey,
about like...
fantastic.
Hello, partner. Today I'll teach you the correct way to handle a shotgun. This bad boy really packs a punch and can knock down even the sturdiest opponent, but I suppose you already know that. You do watch action movies, right? You don't need to be a sniper to shoot this thing effectively, so that's something. The shotgun has considerable spread, so you may as well leave your classes at home. But let's get to it. Fire when ready. Outstanding work, Igor. If this business with your fiancée doesn't pan out, I suggest you take up a glamorous life of crime. Breaking Bad could be fun for a professor emeritus like yourself. I think you've done enough for today. The rest will come with time and practice.
How are things, Professor?
Hey,
About like...
actually,
We need to talk.
sure. Let's talk.
It's about my mother. Or rather, about what she found. I didn't tell you this before because I didn't know if I could trust you. I think I know why they took my mom. She was dangerous to NAR. It wasn't a coincidence. She saw something, even took a photo. You see, when NAR first came here, they pretended to be friendly. They offered free examinations to several sample shells and even promised my mother medical assistance. It was all a ruse, of course. My mother was invited to their lab and she ended up seeing something she wasn't supposed to.
She was inside their lab. You should have...
There's...
Do you still...
No.
Is there any other...
No. My mother was the least selfish person I've ever known. She wanted to help everyone who suffered from the Chernobyl disaster in any way she could. She paid the ultimate price for her kind heart. Now, I have to find out why and make this right.
I get it. Really. She sounds like an amazing lady. How can I help?
I know it's a lot to ask, but I need to know what my mother saw in that lab. I need you to go to Lenin Square and get inside. There must be something there incriminating NAR. This will help your search for Tatiana as well. If she's in the zone, she must somehow be part of all of this.
It won't be easy, but I'll definitely try.
Igor, a moment, please. I heard you talking to our she-wolf here. You don't want to go to Lenin Square. I don't think you're ready. Who knows what you'll be up against?
I think I've proved myself quite capable, no?
You can harness the power of Chernobylite, an impressive feat. But what if they find a way to disable it?
You're probably right. What do you propose?
I'll do it.
With a broken arm? Besides, we have no idea what we'll find. It's very likely we'll need my scientific expertise to assess the situation.
I'm not a complete imbecile, you know.
Of course you can, Olivier. Don't take this the wrong way, but I still think I should be the one to go.
It seems that Olga's mother was onto something that got her killed. Could it be the key to finding out about the NAR's plans? Just be very careful, my love. I feel you getting closer to the heart of evil.
After the lab, Igor. Should be in the middle of NAR's camp. See if you can slip in unnoticed. Don't get in any fight unless you have to.
Sure thing, Mom. And don't worry, I've got my sweater.
You've got some issues, don't you?
Okay. Now's not the time to get distracted.
Locate the lab and try to reach it without drawing attention. You don't want to fight all these guys at once. 50 mils of ferric chloride and 100 mils of chlordiazepam.
Who are you? What are you doing in here?
That man on the phone. Who was it?
You're Kiminyuk. Dear God, please don't hurt me.
I asked you a goddamn question.
My boss, you mean? I don't know his real identity. Almost nobody does, I swear.
Do you really want to play it this way? I can see you're scared, and rightfully so. But it seems you're deliberately trying my patience.
No, not at all, sir. Please, I can't tell you what I don't know. But I can tell you other things. Just ask. Just don't kill me. I can be useful. You'll see.
Vanya, my patience is wearing thin. Where are those damned chemicals?
Answer him, but casually. Relax.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'll send them right away. Apologies for the delay.
Spare me the excuses and move. I need that chlordiazepoxide and I need it now. You two, continue without me. I hope for your sakes you don't screw this up.
It would be best if you forgot I was ever here.
Of course. I won't tell a soul.
Look at the tissue structure. This used to be a liver, if you can believe it. We need to collect samples. Vanya? Finally! Who the hell are you? What did you do with Vanya?
Stay very still if you want to live.
Please don't hurt us. We're scientists.
Yeah, so was Dr. Mengele. Are you performing a vivisection without anesthesia? Administering shots of typhus? What are you doing exactly? I really want to know.
No, nothing like that. We're not beasts. We treat our patients as humanely as possible. But you have to understand that...
Scientific advancement requires sacrifice. Other people's sacrifice.
You make it sound sinister. But yes, everything we do is for the greater good.
How does it work? Are you shooting these poor souls up full of Chernobylite?
I can't talk about that. The NDA we signed is very strict. The penalties...
Did you just say NDA? Are you for real? Stop being a corporate stooge and start thinking about your own life.
Sure, you're right, of course. We started out giving them shots, but that was just the first stage. We're way past that now.
Uh-huh.
It was, you see. The fatality rate was... it didn't bring the desired results.
We've moved from administering nanosolutions to directly editing human genomes to enhance them with Chernobylite. We've developed our own Chernobylite CRISPR.
Your patients or subjects, whatever you call them. Especially the locals. What happened to them?
Which ones? There were many patients here. Some of them didn't make it past the final phase. The others, we don't know.
Don't let him dodge the question. Make him talk.
Look, please, can we all try to stay calm? Let us explain. Modifying genomes is only the first step. Next, we induce a state of superconsciousness in the subject's gamma brainwaves. It's basic neurology. The sympathetic nervous system begins to release enormous amounts of energy straight to the brain via the thalamic gate at the brainstem. When the thalamic gate opens, the energy flows to the pineal gland and... well, there you go. I don't like to use this term, but it opens a third eye.
A third eye? Right. Then what?
Enhanced by Chernobylite, the pineal gland can do incredible things. Release all kinds of energy, and even influence physical objects, as in telekinesis.
You're torturing people so they can bend spoons with their mind? God, what kind of quacks are you?
This is all following the scientific method, believe me. These are closely monitored, replicable experiments. Anyway, when the subject is ready for the final stage, we put them in an induced coma. Contrary to what you might think, it's for their own good.
Explain, and fast. What is this final stage?
Our boss calls it communion. It's when the subject's gamma brainwaves interact with Chernobylite's mental waves, or, well, to tell you the truth, we don't know exactly what it is. Chernobylite is like a virus, in a way. It's not exactly inorganic matter, but neither is it a living organism. It's something in between. And it produces a type of brainwave, even though it clearly has no structured organic tissue.
Well, what's the purpose of this communion?
This is where it gets really interesting. You know that Chernobylite can be used to create wormholes, right? You've been doing it yourself. But these wormholes are special. Haven't you noticed? They're not a purely physical phenomenon.
I don't understand. What else could they be?
We know what singularities and the tunnels should look like. We know what they are in theory. But has anyone actually been inside one before?
Bullshit. I've studied Chernobylite too. The exotic energy it contains is powerful enough to create quasi-black holes and passages between them.
We thought so too, at first. But think about this. What if there was an organism, or a virus, an entity powerful enough to create its own singularities?
No biological organism could encapsulate that kind of energy, or survive if it did. A living entity would be torn to shreds.
But Chernobylite is not a normal biological organism, is it? We have no idea what it is. Just try and consider the possibility that the wormholes you're walking into are not something created outside of Chernobylite. They are Chernobylite. You're traveling through the veins and corridors of its multidimensional body.
But what does that have to do with this communion thing?
Isn't it obvious? We're trying to communicate with Chernobylite, or somehow influence it through the mental energy of our subjects. But getting inside this thing's mind, or whatever it is, must be a truly disturbing experience.
You're fucking insane, both of you. You need to stay away from the morphine cabinet for a while. I've heard enough. Who's your patient here?
I'm not sure, but she must have been carefully selected.
Selected? How? Did she volunteer? Or was she maybe run down and captured by soldiers in the woods? Talk!
I'm not familiar with the selection process. Our boss would know. But we know very little about him.
What's your boss in charge of exactly?
The entire biotech division, pretty much everything Chernobylite related, but mainly the impact on human physical and psychological functions.
Clustered, regularly interspaced, short palindromic repeats. How does this work with Chernobylite?
It's similar to a standard gene editing tool. We take specialized protein from a certain bacteria, modify it with Chernobylite, and then target the exact genes we want to modify.
Wait, I know more about physics than genetics, but CRISPR is usually done on embryos, right? And it takes time, sometimes even years, for mutations to show.
Our boss developed his own methods. The process is applied directly in the subject's body. The speed of the mutations has increased exponentially. It no longer takes years, but weeks, sometimes mere days. Marvelous, isn't it?
Enough. All I've got from you so far is a bunch of gibberish. I want to see the actual research. Where do you keep your data? All the research data?
Check the database in this computer. Everything can be accessed from here.
It's password protected, isn't it?
Promise not to kill us and we'll tell you.
Don't worry, I don't give a shit about you. Password.
23#98S$.
Listen to me very carefully, Igor. This research, this data, it's too dangerous to exist. And people died because of it. Delete everything. It won't bring my mother back, but at least no one will profit from her death, and the deaths of others. Good call. Oh, I knew you'd see reason.
I'm sorry, Olga. Nobody deserves to die so horribly.
I was hoping for some good news, but perhaps I was foolish. My mother, these people, they were all just used, processed. How could anyone do something like this? Anyway, did you find anything of value?
Not sure yet. Bizarre theories about Chernobylite, mostly. I don't know if I want to get into the details yet.
Try me. I'm not a bookworm like you, but I'm not stupid either.
Well, NAR seems to think Chernobylite is like a giant turtle that carries our universe on its back. They figure they can tame it and ride it wherever they want. Like a pet.
A turtle?
It's just a metaphor, but the scientific theory behind it is no less insane.
Right. Thanks for trying, I guess.
Georgy Semenov, a good old Jack Frost. You must want...
Who's there? Hey! I'm here! I'm here! Down the middle! staircase next to the big pipes! Who's there? Hey! I'm here! Hey, you! Help me! Please, help me before that psycho comes back!
Seems like you're probably in there for a reason. What did you do?
What did I do? Nothing. I never hurt anyone, please. I was out on patrol when this maniac jumped me and dragged me all the way here. He said he was going to use me for bait. Something about luring in monsters. Please, don't let me die like this.
I don't like the sound of using a human being for bait. Give me a second. I'll get you out of here.
Oh, thank you. I won't forget it. Oh, thank God. I'm out of here. And you bet that maniac or those monsters could show up any minute.
One last sweep and I'm done. Great. Check it out! Call for backup! He's over there! Over there! His ass! No mercy! One guy! Get him!
Let's try this. I could swear that was the best strategy.
I don't get it. We dispatched an entire squad to fly in here and I repeat, shots fired. Casualty! We've got a visual on a hostile!
Ah, shit.
Check it out! Fire a wheel! Call for backup! Shoot to kill! Casualty!
You. I'm surprised to see you here. You are.
Are you Professor Semenov? Georgy Semenov from the Vladimir Ilyich Lenin nuclear power plant?
Lenin is long gone, but the power plant is still there. It is me, yes. I would appreciate it if you lowered your weapon.
It's me, Igor Kimenyuk. I know it's been 30 years, but don't you recognize me? Igor and Tatiana. You brought us to Chernobyl and helped us get our flat in Pripyat.
Of course. I remember now. Igor and Tatiana. You were like the son and daughter I never had. Tell me, how is she?
What are you doing here, Professor? Are you really working for NAR? Do you know what they're doing in the zone? How they treat the summer shells?
Please, Igor, slow down. My concern is science, as it always has been. The politics and administrative piffle, I leave to others.
Then what are you doing here exactly?
You don't need to worry about me. I haven't turned into Dr. Mengele. I study the local, fauna. They're very peculiar, very dangerous. You must have run into them at some point. There are reports dating back from before the Chernobyl catastrophe. It's very important that we gather every bit of available information.
Let the man catch his breath. Otherwise he may become suspicious. He was probably forced to work for NAR. That's my guess.
So this is Semenov. Very smooth, very slick. I wouldn't trust him if I were you.
Reports? In an abandoned kindergarten?
It wasn't only a kindergarten, you know. Back then, we've always been watched, monitored by those who want to control us. I tried to shield you from this. So this place, it used to be KGB document storage. There's a lot of stuff left in the basement.
Please, answer me, Professor. Did you sign some sort of pact with NAR?
A pact? How melodramatic, how ominous. I signed a confidentiality agreement and a contract of work, yes. But I'm not responsible for how they police their facilities. They have people for that. Can't you see what's going on here? This is much too important to leave to the half-wits in military uniforms and Armani suits. Chernobylite needs to be properly studied by real professionals.
I haven't seen Tatiana in 30 years. I seem to have some blank spots in my memory. I can't remember what happened the night of the disaster. I need to find her. I need to find out what happened to us.
Reactor number 4. That was a real disaster. Some of our colleagues paid the ultimate price for this misguided experiment. That's what happens when politicians are placed in charge of scientists. And Tatiana, such a sweet girl, and your friend Boris. You three were inseparable. I called you my 3 musketeers, remember? Look, my security detail will be back soon to collect me. I don't want them to hurt you or start asking questions.
How can I get in touch?
I will find you. Now, go.